So the question is on table 3, how wide does he peel? If he only peels with kings, then obviously this is a bad bet. Or if he will peel with 9s but not fold them on the turn, that's also a bad bet. If he peels with like any gut shots or any ace high stuff and stuff, then that second barrel on table 3 is going to be really profitable because that's a good chunk of hands that I can get him to fold. Does this guy have ace high on table 2? Looks like it was quite possible. Had I not timed out, I think that's a board I could go either way with c-betting or not c-betting. It's not a board that's that likely to have hit a button flat calling range unless person flat calls like extremely wide, like all suited gappers and all suited connectors. But even then, he still has more hands that didn't hit it than hands that did hit it. Now, you guys don't want to take it too far with the whole button thing. Just because you have the button doesn't mean you can autoplay any hands. So facing a 3-bet, I'm going to fold. And Titan. Why? How are you going to do me like that on national YouTube television? We have overloaded the system and we put it on freeze. But you know what? I don't mind because I could use a minute to gather my thoughts. So, Titan, it's okay. Take your time coming back. Not sure what caused that delay, but hopefully it was just a temporary, short-lived thing, and we can keep the action going. Now, I will say, although I definitely think that speed poker is good, and I definitely think that the games are going to be softer than the ones you'll find on PokerStars, if you're like a big volume junkie and you're about getting the maximum number of hands possible, you want to play as many hands as possible, and you want to get as much action as possible, well then, PokerStars is the place to play. It's not even close because they have the best software of any of the poker sites. They have the biggest player pool of any of the poker sites, and they make sure that their shit runs smooth. Everything's squeaky clean. The engine is oiled up, constantly lubed. They make sure that things flow smoothly. When you play on the European sites, the European-based sites, which is ironic because since Black Friday happened, I mean, I guess they're all kind of Euro sites, right? Nah. Got either way with that A7, but I just didn't really feel like it. But the original Euro sites, wow, that dude has no money. Key Day Zulang, you really ran through your buy-in pretty quick there. Yeah, the original Euro sites like iPoker, Party Poker, On Game, those ones. You are going to find a little bit more, the issues might come up a bit more. There might be a bit more like glitches with the software. Things may not run as smoothly. But, just a second here. Yeah, whatever, but I got the queen. Your 10 is no good. But the smoothness you sacrifice, I'll get into why I 4-bet with that ace 4 in a minute as well. What you sacrifice by not having extremely smooth running software is that a lot fewer regulars will be attracted to the site because people don't want to play on it. Some people are picky. They only want to play on a site that's absolutely perfect where everything runs smoothly 100% of the time. And on the Euro sites, like, I'm not like saying it to like really scare you guys. Things still run smooth like 98% of the time. They just have like really minor glitches. But if you can handle those, or you can handle the fact that the software isn't quite as customizable, isn't quite as smooth, isn't quite as flexible to meet your needs as Stars is, boy, the value you get is insane. Because while PokerStars is marketing to aspiring poker players, aspiring poker stars, people who want to be really, really good, these Euro sites, they advertise to gamblers. They're just looking for people who just want to bet, who just want to play, who just want to get in the action. And I mean, if you're trying to make money playing poker, aren't those the kinds of people that you want to be playing against. I don't know what kind of bullshit's going on table 4, but I just don't really feel like dealing with it. That board's wet. Yeah, but aren't those the kind of people you want to be playing with? Don't you want to play with people who don't have a great understanding of the game or who have no aspirations of becoming a pro, and so they're just content just having fun, gambling, playing a little bit, clicking some buttons, rather than people who are trying, like, out there trying to, like, calculate ranges and, like, solve every spot and figure out the formulas behind the game. Like, do you really want to deal with those people? So it's your choice. You can sacrifice a small bit of, like, I don't know, I guess satisfaction by having a slightly less smooth software. But in exchange for that, you have a much higher expectation, a much higher edge, a much higher profitability. So the choice is yours. And the good thing about these Euro sites is they get better every day. Like, you should have seen, I mean, even Stars wasn't that good, but you should have seen what the softwares looked like way, way back in the day. Like, it was, man, you'd open the software and you just want to throw up because it made you so dizzy. It just, like, looked so bad. It would just, like, hurt your eyes so much. Like, oh, man, I can't deal with this. And you guys are like, Evan, dude, stop fucking ranting. We want to know about the ace-4 suited. So, okay. Why did I 4-bet the ace-4 suited? Good question. First, I open from early position. So, I have a stronger range of holdings than I would if I opened from late position. So, when I'm going to 4-bet, I'm more likely to get credit for, you know, doing it for value and having a real hand than I would if I did it. What if he's going to call down with, like, jacks if I barrel here? Than I would if I 4-bet the button. You know, if I open the button and small blind calls and the big blind squeezes and then I 4-bet, I'm more likely to get called out on bullshit than I am if I 4-bet from early position. I don't think Spewy's going to believe me, so I'm just going to give up. Yeah. It's pretty much what I figured. The next thing was, it was a good squeeze spot. It wasn't just me getting 3-bet in a heads-up spot where I open and get 3-bet. I opened, someone flatted, and then there was a re-raise. Now, when a squeeze opportunity presents itself, it's going to be much more profitable for the 3-better, the squeezer, than a regular 3-bet spot. So the 3-better is going to be more inclined to make a late 3-bet in that spot than they are if it's just a raise and a call. Lastly is that I have a blocker. By having an ace in my hand, it makes it less likely that my opponent has an ace in his hand. It decreases the chance of him having a pair of aces by like 50%, and I think for an unpaired hand, I hate when this happens, but what can you do? I don't think he's doing this with some rando draw, so I probably have somewhere between 0 and 12% equity and 16 to win 40. I'm just not getting the right price, so I'm going to have to let that go. So yeah, and it decreases the chance of having like ace king or ace queen by 25%. Now those are some of the value hands that he would need to have to be able to get it all in. I would have liked to have c-bet this ace 10, but given that I timed out, I'll check call. So given that it is less likely that he has a value hand, a hand that he can get all in preflop with, that makes it more likely that he has a non-value hand, a hand that he will fold to my 4-bet, and all those factors together are why I 4-bet with ace 4 of diamonds in that hand way back when, that now you've seen like probably about 60 hands in between. You already forgot about it, so maybe you want to rewind and catch it, but that is the reasoning for that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a full fucking house. Wow, there's no way you hit this board. There's no way. I gotta like induce bluffs. It's the only way I'm gonna get value in this spot. You just can't have it. Sucks, because you know when you flop a big hand, you're like, I want to play for stacks. How can I get all the money in the middle? That's the way. And like sometimes no matter what you do, you aren't going to be able to get all the money in the middle. And by going for all the money and trying to build that pot, you are actually like limiting your value. Because sometimes there's more value to be gained by inducing bluffs than there is by trying to build a pot, because your opponent's range of hands consists of just like 2 value hands and like 40 bluffs, 40 potential bluffs. And maybe your opponent is the type who really likes to bluff. So if your opponent likes to bluff, you got to give him a chance to bluff. Whereas if your opponent's just like a nit, like if I was against like a super tight guy there, you know, I'd go for it. I'd build the pot and hope that he somehow has pocket jacks, you know, or that he overvalues 9s or 10s and gives me a little more value than he should. But the big thing is, just because you flop a big hand doesn't mean you have to go 4 stacks and maximum value. Generally, most games, it's cool to go for that, but you don't have to. And you guys will see that I just folded deuces on table 2. It's okay to fold pocket pairs in early position. They're a little bit overrated in 6-max poker, in my opinion. But deep stack hands, like queen jack suited, they're the best. And we're not that deep, so I'm gonna do another little light 3-bet on table 1. I just saw Spews open under the gun on 2 tables. Like, that doesn't really tell me much about his range. If he's running a HUD on me, he's gonna know that I like haven't been 3-betting much at all, so he's gonna give me more credit. And 3-betting from the small blind, especially versus under the gun, is a spot where you are gonna get the most credit for having a big hand. Kind of similar to reason number 1 for why I 4-bet that ace-4 suited earlier. You're blasting, eh? All right, well, I don't want to, you know, let the truth out that I have a massive hand, so I'm just going to call. And, well, aces and kings got there, so I'm not going to raise a river bet, but I'm definitely going to call because the board ran out decent for barreling, so could expect him to barrel. And when he checks, could still have an overpair, but I don't think it's that likely because, you know, he could be checking an overpair to induce value from missed diamond draw. If he thinks I have a diamond draw, he wants to try to get value from that part of my range, so he may be check calling. It appears he wasn't, but it's always important to think about why your opponents are doing what they're doing, because if you can start to figure that out, then you can figure out what you should do in return so that you know, you don't play into their hands and act exactly how they want you to act. It's a really good exercise to do, and you should be constantly thinking about what your opponents are doing, why they're doing it, and what you can do to take advantage of it, not play into it, counters, you know, just counter their strategies. This guy's a short stack, so I think he's more likely to want to fire bullets at pots, so I'm going to check back and try to induce some bluffs. Ivy's right ball. God. It's poker. It's just way too fast. It's so speedy. It's just such speedy poker. Only 1 bullet? Okay. Yeah, you guys like that min bet on table 2? Gotta get that value. Whoa! Kept myself from getting stacked. How does he check the river? That was insane. That's the other benefit to checking back a reasonably strong hand. You avoid getting check raised, avoid getting put in a potentially really awkward spot, and you minimize damage when you are in bad shape. But really depends on board texture, depends on opponent's defending ranges, whether or not you want to take that sort of line. Yeah. A couple overcards here on table 2. As long as my opponents haven't flopped sets, I'm in fine shape. And as I said earlier, it's a board that they're not that. Son of a bitch. All right. Is there any way I can like see the hand as it plays out? Fuck. I want to know what happened, but I don't know how to do it on this software. If anyone knows, please post in the comments so on my next video I can be able to do that. I guess we'll just hit him with the check slam here on table 1. Gamble, gamble. Yeah, we got him. Hit him with the check slam. This guy on table 2 appears to be a bit of a donk. So I'm just going to take sizes to kind of exploit that. And at this point, I'm going to go all in and just hope that the aces are still good. If he got there on me, it's a cooler. I'm standing. You, God, that's sick. And now on table 3, did he flat with ace queen? Did he flat with the big pair? I'm going to hope not. And no sets. God, sets. All right. Couple coolers. That's lame. There were a lot of, if I remember correctly, there were quite a few draws here on table 3, and they all missed. So if that player is an aggressive barreler and he's going to bet with his draws when check 2, I don't think I can really fold. Thing is, by taking a check call line on the flop instead of just betting out myself, I did put myself in a bit of an awkward spot. I did have to kind of start playing the guessing game. I was definitely comfortable calling 2, and the river decision is when it's like, oh man, that's the real like critical junction where you got to decide whether he is still going to continue betting his bluffs or if he's going to be like, this dude's got a strong hand, he's not folding. So there would be no real sense in me bluffing the river, continuing to bluff the river. And that's where player notes are going to help. That's also where having a time bank helps, because the more time you can have to think through a decision, the more likely you are to make the right decision. If it's a tough one, generally your gut, if you have a lot of experience playing, is going to be correct. But in certain spots, you really need to take some time to piece everything together. Like you guys heard me say, does he have ace queen? Does he have over pairs? Because I think when I open from under the gun and he flats from middle position, he's still not going to be calling me with like all kinds of different hands. I think he's still going to be somewhat limited in what he calls with. So if he has a narrower range, that means fewer bluffs. If he's someone who's like really just like loose in their action player, he's going to have a lot more potential hands that he could be turning into bluffs along the way. So yeah, something to think about. But I hate making wrong decisions, and I also hate getting sucked out on. So I'm gonna bet. I'm not gonna play too much longer though, because I know I'm definitely gonna be a little bit irritated and a little affected by those 2 spots. This guy is not gonna have a 7, and this, I hope this isn't tilty, but I'm gonna try to fold him off an overpair, like a pair of 9s, and he's just, yeah, okay. So tilt has been recognized. Should have been a check fold on the turn. On my A, that would be the play, but I didn't do it. So I just posted the big blind. I'm going to play 3 more hands on each table, and then I'm going to wrap it up so that I don't spew off any money from tilting. Because it's very important to identify when you're off your A game and then to make those quits. Not a big deal. I mean, the games are right here. And the great thing about speed poker and Zoom poker is you don't like lose your seats when you get off the game. You can just hop right back in. It's not like you waited 2 hours to get on the games, and now if you leave them, you're gonna have to wait 2 hours again. No, it's just like hop in, hop off, hop in, hop off, get your fix, and then get out. It's pretty sweet how it works like that. But also, I think the video is at a decent length, so wrap it up. We had some good momentum. We were crushing, but those 2 pots really did us in. Thank God for bonuses, because bonuses and rake back definitely always help. And hey, thank God for that free $5 that Titan gave me. Some of this loss is on the house. Ooh, top pair. Backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw. Too bad it's 4-way. Makes me a little less confident about the hand. But I still like a bet. And I'm definitely peeling here. Getting great odds. 3-way on the button with 10-8 suited. Okay. We'll take it. And we will get out of the way there. Sitting out. I'm done. Get me out the games. Okay. So that's going to wrap up this live session at Titan. And I guess I can pull up the lobby and see what the deal is. 756. I need a calculator. Not in the mood to calculate. 100, 200. Looks like we lost about $30. Sigh. Can't win every time. But I hope you guys still were able to benefit from that session. And I think if you guys try out the speed poker, I would probably encourage you to play less than 4 tables because, man, that stuff's really fast and it's tough to keep up with. And combined with talking, really hard to focus and play the A game. So maybe next video we'll just do a couple of tables instead. So it's less overwhelming. You guys can get better analysis and maybe some less rambling. But please let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if you found it beneficial and leave me your comments below. And if you're interested in trying Titan Poker, or you would just like to show your appreciation and support the project, go ahead, use the link below the video, download the software, check it out, and if you sign up, please use the bonus code, the deposit code, GETSTACKIN, GETSTACKIN, and hope you guys kill it, hope you guys run it up and find the games to be soft and profitable. Okay, I hope you guys found the video educational and entertaining as always. This has been Evan4Grips.com, and now it's your turn. Go out there and get stacking. Why not do it at Titan Poker?